Hey everybody, what's going on? Kenny here. I got a question, or had a question on one of my other videos, because I just kind of showed this thing a little bit. So I thought I'd just show it a little more. I thought I had in another video, but I'll kind of hit on it a little more this time. Now, I didn't come up with this idea. I had seen this on another YouTube channel and decided I was going to try it because they had used it for their angelfish. You know, basically it's acting as a sponge filter. It's got that long tube there in the middle. You run your airline tubing through almost all the way down to the bottom, and you leave a gap down here. So what that's doing is it's sucking water, you know, in the tank. You know, it's in a 55-gallon tank, so my water in the water parameters of the tank is what they are, you know, and it helps this tank. Instead of trying to take care of a 1-gallon jar to raise your fry in, it's, you know, it's taking water throughout the whole tank. So, you know, what it's doing, it's filtering the water, it's pulling it through the top there, and then it's pulling the water through the bottom here as well, and then, you know, sucking it up out through the tube. So it's basically like a big sponge filter. So these guys are getting, you know, fresh water at all times, you know, and it keeps them confined to a smaller area just to be able to find the food instead of being spread out through a 55-gallon tank or a 30-gallon or whatever. You know, they're in a 1-gallon jar. You know, it might not even be a whole 1-gallon jar. What I did is, see that little slit? I cut that slit in there, so like what I do is when I separate my fry, I take a turkey baster and I, you know, just shove it right in that thing, and to get my fry in. And also to feed them as well, but I'm going to try to show you how I feed the fish. I already got the food made up and ready to roll. I'll try to do this one-handed, right-handed I should say. So what I do is I come up here, you know, I got my, just turn my air off. Stops the air. You know, that way when I put I'm using decap brine shrimp right now. I don't really like the hassle with just the regular brine shrimp. I'm looking for an easier way. I'm thinking about that Ocean's Nutrition instant brine shrimp. So if any of you guys have used that, you know, let me know how if you've had any luck with your fry or anything. But now my air's off. So, and the reason, you know, turn that off so the brine shrimp isn't getting sucked down into the bottom and it's just a waste of the food. I got quite a bit in this syringe, but I'm gonna feed my other angelfish. Let me see if I can set this up here to maybe where you guys can see and I can have 2 free hands. Arrange my stuff around. Yeah, that'll work. So, don't mind the Finding Nemo playing here. My son was enjoying the TV. So, you know, got my huge syringe full of decapped brine shrimp, but you know, most of this is gonna go to the other fry on the other side, but gotta feed these guys. Just take it in and put it in this slit here, and I try not to squirt it, because if I do, it just really blows them babies around everywhere. So I just kind of let it run in there. And I'll even switch from side to side, you know, try to spread it out a little bit, because they'll pick off the bottom. And I'll usually let them eat off that for about half an hour, you know, maybe a little bit less, before I turn my air back on. So that way I know, you know, they're getting time to eat. Now I'm going to put it on another side. And it makes for pretty easy maintenance, you know, it's pretty easy to get the food in here. Especially since I cut the slit in. I know yesterday when I fed them, they gobbled it up pretty quick. You know, I was afraid the other ones took to it. As you can see, there ain't a whole lot of them in there, so I still am losing some of the babies, and I think that's because I am using decap brine shrimp and not you know, hatching out my own or anything like that. I've got all the stuff to hatch my own, but I have hatched them before just to do it, you know, when I first got the little setup thing. And man, I tell you what, it is a pain in the ass. Try to get some food around all these babies. I wasn't going to use all this, but it looks like I pretty much may have. I can make some more or get some more for the others. It's not a big deal. Usually what I'll do is I'll suck some water up, get this thing kind of rinsed out, and shoot it into the tank. So, turn my hands off here after I pick the camera up. Oops. So, you know, the babies are just going to kind of run through and pick at the food a little bit. You know, it just kind of sits on the bottom. And I'm sure if it was brine shrimp, it would probably float around. It wouldn't just go straight for the bottom. But they seem to get down and eat a little bit, you know. But that's this thing, you know. Here in 20 minutes, I'll turn the air back on to get the water flowing back through and get it circulating. But I thought it was pretty neat when I seen it, and I was like, man, that is such a great idea. And I'll put a link up for their website. You know, they offer the jar. All the supplies pretty much you see included, except for your airline tubing. You got to come up with your airline tubing, but almost everybody's got airline tubing. I know I got like 100 foot just laying around, you know. But you know, that's this thing. It was a pretty neat idea, and I thought, you know, what the hell? It ain't gonna hurt to try this thing out and see how it was gonna work. So, you know, and there's two batches. There's two sets of fry from two different breeding pair of parents. I actually just put a couple more in that I had missed, and I've probably still missed some more. They're probably in there somewhere. I just gotta find them, but you know, so there's a lot of fry in there. And keep them in there for a couple weeks, and then I'll probably move them to, you know, the other side of my fry tank that I have set up, so they can, you know, swim in there. This way I just, you know they're eating, and I'm getting that taken care of. And the Cory cat, my wife digs these dudes. I'm going to do a video on these guys too, because there's a little bit of care that most people might not know about the Cory cats. And I didn't really know either, and it was kind of a learning from experience. He's probably like the fish I've had the longest. But maybe I'll talk about that later, but you know, I'll save that for another time. But that's what I got going on. You know, comment, subscribe, like it. Let me know what you guys think. That's what I got going on today. All the babies getting some grub. And it's cool to watch the little bellies fill up too. But that's what I got. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.